What's up, Gloucester Township?
We can't get this right. I don't get it. It's
I
all right,
forget that we have an intro issue until every single time we do this. And then once this thing is over, it all gets packed up and put away. And then I forget about it again.
You only have so much bandwidth to think, like, what do I have to do? But
anyway, to let you, we do pre-record this because we record it on the weekend and then post it up on Mondays.
Yep.
But it's one take.
That's it. One take. That's all you guys get. So that's why our intros are a little messed up, but that's not the important part. The important part is the news we bring you guys.
Yep. So as the things say, I'm Joe Allen. That's Keith Gibbons. This is the GT Observer podcast.
As it says right here.
As it says back there, too.
But yeah, we are recapping the August 25th council meeting. There was not a lot of activity going on there, so not a lot of people showed up, but there were a bunch of people in the audience for the lead poster and graduation. The graduations were at the schools, but this was the poster and essay contest that they held. Right? There was
Yep. If you are not familiar with the lead program, let's go to the chief here, and he'll tell us what it's all about.
Okay.
For those who don't know me, my name's Dave Harkins. I'm the chief of police here in Gloucester Township. And we're here tonight.
That's the local tyrant right there.
Students
Blue.
who are in our essay and our poster contest for our LEAD program. A little bit about the LEAD program. The kids know it, but just to give you my outlook on it, it's one of the premier programs here of our community relations programs. They get to interact with our children, every one of our children in all of our schools. And we make this commitment. Officer Matt Spina, who couldn't be here tonight, is the other instructor. Our town commits education of our students in our school, puts the resources into officers like Officer Spina, Officer Pickard, supervised by Lieutenant Fretz, who's in our Juvenile Family Services Bureau. We make this commitment. They're teaching full time in a school districts that we have of our size, with all the schools that we have. We have a 5th grade program. We have a 7th grade program. And it is a commitment that we make to make sure that our kids have a good knowledge of what's out there, how to protect themselves, and how to interact and not get involved with trouble.
All right. So I was thinking about that. That's a pretty cool program. I was trying to remember back to 100 years ago when I was in grade school and stuff like that. How much interaction we had with the police, and I don't know that we did.
No, I mean, a lot of unfortunate events have led to having more police in schools to help protect kids around, unspeakable incidents that have, taken place. But along with that has come the integration of, like you're saying, like there were programs back in the day. Maybe the police weren't as involved, but there was like, what was there was DARE before, but there was like,
yes,
I don't know, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The Just Say No, like some of those programs that were kind of national things that were rolled out. This one, the LEAD program, is the current day, program that's out there. But they are actually interacting with the students on a daily basis,
which I thought was really cool, because I thought, like, back in my day, it was kind of like police were just like authority figures, right? They weren't necessarily, at least in my mind, they didn't feel like members of the community. I just, like, you didn't know them kind of on a more personal level. I think it's really cool that that's what they're doing now.
Yeah, I don't know how it is in every other town. Our town does an excellent job, though, of that. Like, they have the whole community relations, squad. Yeah. They have trucks that they're bringing out with, games for involving kids. And it's kind of to help teach them that, like, they are members of the community and they are here to protect you. So it is a good program. But the graduations that they had for the 5th graders every year, I'm blessed enough to partake in those things. So I have gone to those graduations and given the awards out and everything, and listened to the the essays and seen the posters, and it really is an amazing program that they do and that they put together here. But they definitely include the youth in our in our community, the police here.
Officer Pickard came up right afterwards and really kind of told. So it was a poster or an essay is what
yeah, they had two different kind of contests.
And Pickard kind of gives an idea of what they were focused around.
The poster assignment, students were asked to draw a picture, a comic, or design of any kind that demonstrated one of the lessons they learned during the school year. For the essay assignment, the students were asked to write a letter to a pen pal or a friend where they tried to convince the friend not to use one of the following drugs: cigarettes or vaping, alcohol or marijuana. And go figure, the hardest part of the assignment was trying to explain to a kid what a pen pal was in 2025.
That was one of the first things I took away from that was...
Yeah, it is funny.
I remember pen pals. Yeah.
I do remember pen pals. I mean, we're dating ourselves.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because I mean, now you just go to the computer and talk to somebody anywhere in the world. So.
Yeah, everyone has the ability to catch somebody right on their in their phone. Like you used to have to. Well, we're not gonna get into that.
Like if you want to talk to a kid in in any other country, you could.
Yeah.
So, and also I think a really good idea too. I like the idea of them writing of the children thinking about reasons why to stay away from things like cigarettes. Because I kind of feel like growing up, the teachers and my parents told me to stay away from cigarettes, but it wasn't like, but they didn't. I don't think I like the exercise of telling them, explain to your friend why you don't want to get involved in like cigarettes. So.
Yeah, I mean, times changed, and there was cigarettes are really an interesting thing. Like back in the day, a lot of people, they would have a cigarette hanging in your mouth and it's like, "Don't smoke it, it'll stunt your growth," or some crazy thing like that.
Doctors were recommending brands of cigarettes from way back.
Right, these are the healthiest, the Marlboro Reds, or I don't know.
Now it's. I mean, look, I was at 13. God, I mean, probably I forget how long ago. 2013. I was a smoker up until 2013, and. It's so weird now.
Yeah,
it's
no one smokes.
Now
no one
to
smokes
see,
cigarettes.
Like I've got a couple friends that if we go out and do some trivia or something like that, they'll run outside and I'm gonna go grab a cigarette. And I'm like, you still do that?
You still smoke? Yeah, it's crazy. But
so
anyway, they do a great job with this lead program, I think, in town here. But,
yep.
So that ceremony happened before the council meeting, and then when the council meeting started up, there was a quick announcement in the beginning that there was a last minute addition of accepting grant money?
That's what it sounds like.
Before we go to the public comment, we have a letter came in after our workshop and our last meeting, and this is for an authorization to proceed with a New Jersey Department of Community Affairs Local Government Service Program application for the community park construction and renovation project, which is the indoor batting cages. This is with Triad. It would pay them a compensation of $2,750 to submit this application to them. Those who have attended our workshop meetings, they've been pretty successful this year in securing grant money for a lot of the projects that we've been doing here throughout the township.
Okay.
So I guess that means that we're moving forward with the batting cages. I know last quote we got, I think it was like 1.4 million.
I don't recall.
1.4, 1.5 million.
Good amount, but yeah.
And I guess that I know that they did talk about it was $700,000 or $750,000 that they got in grant money. So I guess we're going to move forward with going towards that process.
Yeah.
That'll be probably debated in some.
Well, later like we have
meetings.
Talked about on many occasions here on this podcast, the grants they happen all the time.
Yeah.
We get these grants and it's like, hey, you can get all this money if you spend, this here. And along with that, whoever is writing these grants, which is usually Triad,
yeah,
they're getting paid to get us this, this money. So I still recall a very interesting one where there was during COVID times, there was like a small business grant where businesses were able to get maybe $5,000 or something like that. But there was an application process to get that. But somehow Triad inserted a whole application before the application to see if your application applies to become an application. You're like, wait a minute, we're paying them $150,000 or whatever it is of the total $300,000. Again, I'm just guessing on these numbers. It was a roundabouts.
I was
and I'm like,
thinking that it was
you
at least
created
90.
an application for an application, which would tell you if you get the grant, but yet they get all the money. Why is it not going to the small businesses? There's already an application.
I think there was at least like $90,000 just for that.
I want to say it was like $138,000 if my recollection is correct. I didn't look it up, but this is just off the top of my head. But it's out of these grants would
be amazing if it was like, we're giving you $750,000 for that $750,000 indoor batting cage you want to do, because then it's like, all right,
but
no argument.
A way to not have to pay that person, right? If we were to take in-house and have an employee that's their job. There are people who specialize in writing grants. There's an entire company that has people that's what they do. If we were to pick somebody in-house, just say, to write grants for us, we don't have to pay. We're just, okay, here's a set amount. We pay them $92,000.
Yeah, and we're doing it all the time. So it's not like once a year
we're getting
we go
grants,
for a grant.
and we're giving away 10% of whatever that grant is. We're getting tons and tons of money. We're giving it away to a pay-to-play vendor to make sure that their business is be able to donate money to these PACs that are that exist out there.
Yeah.
When we could have somebody in-house that's doing that work, have our own employee, and maybe there are programs that they come up with that they find that aren't out there, but
if an employee specializes in it though, then they're going to know it.
Yeah,
somebody ought to let the mayor candidate know about that one. He can put that on his website.
That could be one. Yeah.
And again, he's not going to get any campaign donation money if he does.
Oh no! I don't want any. All right. Anyway, so then we move into the public comments about agenda items, and there was this 20? Yeah. So there was a road that's being done in Cherrywood.
In Cherrywood, yeah, there's a road going in there, and the woman from LaCascada, Bonitta, she has been there so many times asking about paving LaCascada. Apparently, it is I keep making that. I want to go over and see how bad this road is that goes into LaCascada. Apparently, it's awful. And she's been there so many times saying, like, look, you've got to do something about this. And she saw that, I guess, that they were doing Cherrywood, so she was mad, and she came in, talk about it. I didn't take a clip. She was up there a couple times talking about it, but
they did say LaCascada is on the capital improvements for this year, so they are getting a new road. I don't know if that will actually happen, because I kind of recall them saying that in the past, and it's not happened, and she's come back and saying, wait a minute, you told me.
I think they even went as far as so LaCascada, the HOA in LaCascada doesn't own the road there, but she was basically
they own the parking
saying
lots. They spent over $1 million redoing all the parking lots. So she's claiming, that the road going in is like driving on the surface of the moon, and then
she's basically saying like, and we all, like, I guess they saved up the money.
Yeah,
they're saying like, look, just give us the road back, and we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah,
so that was pretty crazy. I wonder what their dues are over there. They get that much money,
but yeah. Anyway, one of the functions of council is approving bills, right? So the administration has a bunch of bills they need to pay, and council has to go through those bills and say, yeah, we approve these as a check and balance kind of thing. Dave Leader steps up, and he wants to know kind of, why can't the public also know?
Good evening, council. Good evening. Dave Leader, Huntington Avenue, Glendora. Resolution 25-:08-309. Members of council tonight are going to vote to spend, it looks like, $1 million. The statements here infer that members of council perused the computer printout before they would have to make a decision on whether to spend this money or not. But the public, where you get your money, does not have access to these computer printouts. I searched the website 3 times, and there are no computer printouts related to paying the township payment of bills. So I hope I'm mistaken. I hope that there's a link online where the public can see how, when you say yes, you know what money you're spending, and we know as well.
There is. What is this? Oh, you're showing how to go to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I searched it, but then it's down the bottom. I found a couple little words that said bill list, and that takes you to the download page. And then finally, when you get the bill list, there is the bill list.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's not exactly easy enough like anything else on our website.
It is. It was tough. You go to the website and you search bill list, and you get a page that doesn't really just have the bill list. You have to scroll. You have to look for the words bill list all the way in that page, and then all the way down the bottom, it says bill lists.
Our search on that is so bad. It's unbelievable.
I-
You can search bill list, and it'll create like duck bills. You're like, why am I looking for pictures of?
I'm pretty sure I checked it, and it was a WordPress based site, and I'm like, I have never had an issue with search as much as I do on that site.
Yeah.
There's even some advanced search plugins that you can get to make it better, but
Yeah.
it is, or at least like the page structure is also bad too. When you go to a page and there's like, here's 95 different things that you could be searching for on one single page, it makes it a little more difficult. So
Yeah.
we pay a company quite a bit of money
Yeah.
to give us that disaster.
Anyway, so all right, so Dave, that is where you find it on the downloads page, and then Brian Burns comes up and he has a question about some what was it, storage
This
facilities.
is from Brian Burns. The recent approval of the master plan reexamination and the open space recreation plan both strongly support the preservation of ecologically sensitive sites within the township. As the redevelopment entity, does the Township Council support the master plan's reexamination recommendation to create a redevelopment zone for the blocks and lots identified on page 59 of said plan, which are located on Hicktown Road? This parcel is designated a natural heritage site by the NJDEP. There is a concept plan submitted to the Office of Community Development to build 4 warehouses on this ecologically sensitive site. Mr. Bach, chairman of the planning board, stated at the last planning board meeting that nothing precludes the township from creating a redevelopment zone for these blocks and lots. By doing so, council can meet recommendations of the master plan reexamination and open space recreation plan while better serving the residents of the area. A rezoning of this site to environmental residential will help preserve the site far more than the construction of warehouses. In this message that Mr. Burns said, Mr. Bach is the engineer, he's the planning board engineer, not the chairman of the board. And it was stated by Mr. Bach that development could occur on these referenced parcels if the individual property developers demonstrate that it was feasible and not on environmentally constrained land. He does not recall having any discussion as to the designation as to the redevelopment areas. And again, this is a concept that has not been presented formally to the planning board.
So yeah, Brian kind of asking if we'll stick to the master plan, and then also mentions a site that is a protected site that there is a proposal to build. From what I gather, it is now 4 5,000 square foot
Yeah, he's
buildings.
calling them warehouses. I don't know exactly what constitutes warehouse versus something, but they're not very large.
The application
They're
said
buildings.
warehouses. It freaked everybody out on my street because they're going to be basically right in the woods at the end of our street.
Yeah.
And when we dug into it, it's like 4 5,000 square foot storage buildings for, I guess, some kind of company, some kind of industrial company.
But either way, they're
wants to do
getting
storage
it's
there.
the National Heritage Site that he's talking about, and why
But-
are we building on it?
Yes.
Master plan says otherwise.
It is a natural heritage site, so it is protected. There is swamp pink, which is an endangered plant that is back there growing out of there. So that was a big concern for Brian at the planning board meeting. I went to that planning board meeting, took some neighbors with me, and I don't know. We'll wait and see. The result of that planning board meeting was basically, in the planning board meeting, it was only to approve plumbing to the site. There was nothing else in there, which I thought,
Yeah, that drives me nuts the way that process works.
that's a weird thing because you would think that they would first approve the plan and say, yes, you can put warehouses or whatever you're going to put there, and then approve plumbing, but they approve the plumbing first. So people get really fired up, and they show up to a meeting for any one of these things, and they say, no, relax, it's just plumbing. And then, then the fire
Right,
kind of
that's what
dies
I'm saying.
down a little bit. And then when the fire dies down, they go, and the building. And then next thing you know, like the building's going in.
Yeah.
So it is.
And the other thing that really, I was just at a planning board meeting a few days ago, and he had mentioned Bach as the chair, which he corrected and said he's the engineer, good, which is correct. But when you go to a planning board meeting and Bach is up there answering, like you're asking questions that the applicant should be answering, and he's answering for them. You're like, are you the applicant? Or are you supposed to be sitting here listening to the arguments?
Yeah.
Are you arguing for the applicant, or are you our engineer? Like to say, is this like it's really, really infuriating to sit there and listen to him answer questions that should be answered by the applicant when you have questions about it. I don't understand it. I mean, it could be things that are already decided or whatever else, but it's from a process standpoint and a public, the public opinion or whatever you call it, the optics, I guess you call it, of that, really bad, where he's answering all the questions. I don't know what it was, where you were.
No, we got a lot of problems with separation.
Oh yeah,
of powers. Yeah. I mean, think about it, council does it every single meeting, right?
At least there's back and forth and there's dialogue at a planning board meeting.
There is.
There's not a clock that's like the end all be all. Yes, you have to be sworn in because you're doing it's like a quasi judicial.
That was the weird part for me. Yeah,
the swearing in of it is different, but you're at least allowed to have a dialogue, and there's not a tyrant running the meeting, cutting you off, not answering your questions, telling you we'll respond at the end. That part doesn't take place there. However, the engineer answering for the applicant is not cool, in my opinion.
I did say I would say that going to a planning board meeting it seemed a little more normal. Township kind of meeting wise, although like a lot of the names. There's a lot of names that are also last names of other people in township.
Oh, yeah.
So that part kind of got me, but I was like, this actually is more of it's a better functioning meeting than our council meetings.
It is, yeah.
But
in my opinion,
if you want to keep up on like things like this, and where to find stuff on our website, or not our website's pretty good, but the township's website. Go to GTobserver.com and check out what we got going on over there. Subscribe to this podcast. Hit the notification bell. We release them on Mondays, but occasionally, if we don't, if Keith finds himself in some park somewhere and he wants to go live, and then you'll be there, and you'll know that he's done it, and you'll get a notification for it. So, GTobserver.com. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We got a little presence on X from time to time when I can remember to post something on there. But and then our videos are also generally on Rumble when I can remember to publish them up there too. So we are in many different places.
Yeah, we try to get the word out as best we can, and people respond.
Yeah, share us out too.
Yeah. All right, thanks. We will get into. Dave Leader is the next one here. His privilege did not land him a seat here. Still.
Dave Leader, Huntington Avenue, Glendora. It's an update that I'm sure you don't want to hear on me joining the Green Team. I had no notice from Mr. Cruz or anyone else from the mayor's office. I was kind of thinking after the last time I spoke with you that I probably should get a privileged status because I'm a registered Democrat in this town. But I guess that's not what it takes to get your foot on the carpet of the Green Team.
Yeah.
So
we've been at this for a while here.
A lot of talk all the time too about political parties in this town, and it is and one of the things I've always kind of hammered in is it is not about the party that you're in, but it's about the crowd of people that you're trying to get into, and Dave kind of just shows it that it's not about Democrats being bad in our town. It is about a political machine using a party for its benefit. So, apparently, Dave just showed us that no matter what you're registered as, even if you're registered as one of them, you're not one of them.
Yep.
So,
all right. Well, we had Dave came back up again at the same, I guess, time here. He was talking about our taxes and the Let's see
Mr.
here.
Nash, at the end of the meeting, was kind enough to inform us about the 33% that the council is responsible for, and that the county and the school boards are responsible for the other percentages. I respect his information, it's accurate, but it's not the whole story. You guys approve housing without interfacing with the school
Yes.
board. You guys approved multi-dwelling housing without interfacing with traffic studies and the county traffic studies and the people that live in the neighborhood. So you have an effect on the school board money for sure, because the more that they get behind in having classrooms for the children, I heard one class got 25 students. Yeah, they're going to have to raise their budget again. And with all the housing that you guys approved in the last 24 months, school board's going to consistently have to raise the bar to have classrooms and teachers available for those students.
Yeah, it's a classic scenario of, oh no, that's point somebody else's problem. All we're doing is deciding this right here, and there's never
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes a really good point. And it wasn't. They've used that a lot. The percentages, they'll tell you that look, everybody's complaining about taxes here, and then even I saw it when I was out canvassing for my own campaigns, and people would say the taxes are because of the schools.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, each one has a percentage, and Dave makes a great point that one does affect the other.
100%. And they're also giving out pilots where that tax payment doesn't go to the schools.
Right.
So it falls back on the tax, the municipal side.
So later on, of course, after the portion was over, Orlando responded to Dave's message here about that, and let's hear what he's got to say.
In regards to traffic studies and housing, if anyone attends a planning board meeting, and when a development project is being moved forward, there's impact studies that are provided. They include traffic studies. They will also factor into the amount of children that will be attending a particular school district. So as far as having conversations with, we have 2 school districts here, not just one, 2 school districts, and having conversations with them. There are conversations informally that take place between those entities regarding projects that are taking place, and also with the county.
Before you answer, that horrible noise coming from there.
I was going to ask you, what the heck is that?
Well, there's a humming noise coming from their audio, but then also at times, I guess he was away from the microphone, and I had to lift the volume so that you could hear him. But then occasionally he would come back, so then I'd have to cut it away and then lower the volume. So it's a several hour long process. But I did not take out the humming sound, which is apparently there. But so he's saying, don't blame us.
Right.
Blame the planning board.
Right. It's a
We're
planning
doing
board.
it.
And most of the time, because of the area in need of rehabilitation designation, where things are done through, what the heck is it called? Redevelopment plan or something like that, it doesn't actually go to the planning board. So he continually points a finger somewhere else, but yet knows it doesn't actually go that way, but he points a finger.
Council is the entity for that, yeah.
Right.
So
it's so infuriating.
And then I did a little bit of digging into like traffic studies and trying to figure out like how accurate are traffic studies? And it's really kind of like it's hit or miss because a lot of it is
it's a guess, isn't it?
It's prediction.
Right.
Yeah. You can put those little things on the road and count how many cars go over it every day. But then when you take into consideration like light schedules and stuff like that and how much you ever like there's a point where if you travel the same road every day, whether you're going to work or not, somebody did a study for that particular road and whatever's built there. Mm-hmm. And then if you're sitting there screaming to your steering wheel that it's so overcrowded right now, obviously that traffic study didn't work.
Right. And then there's also scenarios where this just happened this past week. The Windy Hills over by Skeeters and Penco Tech over there, that area. So their traffic study was done back in like 2016.
Oh, wow.
So that's the traffic study that they're going over. 2017. I forget exactly which one. It's old, really old. But they're able to keep it open because they just keep changing something else, and it makes that still stay open and still valid instead of having to do a whole new one. Well, traffic has changed a lot since 2016, 2017 around there.
Yeah.
Your own development has helped create more of it that we can now study as well. And it's bizarre that all you have to do is just check a box and say this is what it is. And now that's like state requirement thing. So it's not even like you can go and impose something further on that because it's a state regulated thing. And that's what they're saying is required. You can't require something more than that. So say, well, the state says we have to do this. So now we'll sue you.
Yeah.
If you don't do that. So it's not only a local issue, it's also state issues too, But anyway, let's move on to the next topic here, which is what was it? The Black Box Theater. Opening?
September 13th.
There's a grand opening performance that's taking place Saturday, September 13th.
Please, it's not Friday.
The public is invited. There's information on the event details. They have been circulated throughout the township's social media pages on Facebook and Instagram. Tickets are required due to limited seating, and details concerning registration and ticketing is available to the public online. How much to rent the facility? A rental fee structure has not yet been determined. Any fees or costs related to the use of the facility will have to be adopted and approved by council as an amendment to its fee ordinance before any fee structure goes into effect. Is the facility staff extra fee for staffing? The facility will be managed by existing township staff as needed on a day-to-day basis. Any fee for staffing, if needed, will be included as part of any fee ordinance amendment. Are tables and chairs provided? A fee amount. The township procured chairs and other fixtures to support the unique theatrical uses at Harmony Hall. Any fee for use of chairs will be determined and will be included as part of the fee ordinance amendment. Is catering available? Preferred vendor or provide our own food and related concession policies will be determined in conjunction with the township's evaluation of related fee structure and building use policies. What are the operating hours and days? During the inaugural launch period through the end of 2025, we anticipate that Main Stage will be the only theatrical user of the facility as a theater, and other performing arts group schedules for the fall are typically already established. During the same launch period, we anticipate that non-theatrical community events will be limited only to those official functions that are sponsored by the township.
So basically, you can't use it. They're going to do what they want with it, and that's it.
There's a lot here, man. It's a lot here. There was a big discussion that went on yesterday on a couple of the township talk groups about this. I think somebody made fun of it, and then somebody else that has a store downtown posted their thoughts on it and how it's such a positive thing. And then somebody wound up removing that post because I guess it got too negative. And it was a lot. It got to the point where it was so. I thought the message was getting lost there, and a couple of the people just, flat out, screw this for spending too much. No. But then I thought that it was, I think I thought I left a pretty good comment on there, or several comments on there, explaining, like, nobody I know wants to see downtown Blackwood fail. We all.
Right.
Look, they've come out with two different kind of, here's a preview of what could be in downtown Blackwood. And they were amazing. And we all wanted that. Like, we were really on board with what they proposed. Mm-hmm. As long as it didn't cost like a crap load of money on us, but helping out businesses come in 100% for that. So we all wanted that. And I wanted to get it. I really wanted the particular business owner on the Pike to know, like, anybody that's criticizing this, we don't want you to fail. In fact, there are some other places that are thriving. I know that the Craig and Sieg, I know that they expanded. Ren's is doing. I mean, I'm seeing Ren's all the time. They're doing really well. I got a book signing going on over there coming up soon. Yeah. So there are places that are thriving down there, and it's amazing. I love it. I want Gloucester Township to be a destination because I don't want to have to go to other places like Collingswood that have great downtowns. So it's I wrote a little piece on GT Observer yesterday just to get my thoughts on it. Just my own personal opinion on there. But because the post got taken down, I thought, well, I'm just going to put it on somewhere where it won't get taken down.
Joe's opinions are his own, and not the opinions
My opinions are my own. I also said that at the bottom of the thing too. This is just my own opinion. I just felt like I needed to give it.
Yeah.
And just so
I don't know what you wrote. I didn't read it.
Just so that people know that the people that are opposing this, they have a reason to oppose this, and it's a good reason, in my opinion. And I think it is the opinion of a lot of people. But nobody wants to see downtown Blackwood fail.
No, not at all.
If this thing that they're building, if Harmony Hall is
I would say that a lot of the. Well, I shouldn't speak for really anybody else, but I'm going to here in a way. A lot of the criticism comes from past history of how we've seen that they've spent money. So what they've done in the past will more than likely be what's being done, in the future. And he kind of said it in that little speech there where it's like someone asked a question like, hey, what about rentals? What about this? And it was like, well, we haven't figured that out yet. And asking about schedule, and like, well, yeah, kind of like it's just going to be main stage is the only one that's going to be allowed to use this. Oh, and by the way, for next year, we're probably not going to allow anybody else except for the township to be able to use this. So we're going to be the only ones that are like, it's a community center though. Everything's allowed to do anything. However, it's only us that are allowed to do it. But everyone's allowed, but not. That's what goes on in this town that drives people like myself insane. Where there could be other people that have some kind of a musical dance group or something like that with kids that want to put something together, but they're not part of main stage or for whatever reason they're not allowed to use that. Or somebody wants to put together some sort of an event of I'm carrying this thing around, but they could want to hire it out. And he literally just said they're like, no, sorry, you're not allowed because you're not part of. You're not in the in group. Dave Later, sorry, your green team, you're registered Democrat, doesn't matter. It's, you're not part of the team, so you're not allowed to rent the place out. That's literally basically what he just said there. Right? Yeah, or did I misunderstand what he said?
No, 100%. And look, we're burned. We got burned by a couple previous property purchases that were like, wow, it's a great deal. And next thing you know, it's a crazy amount of money. And just like this one started out at $330,000. And they're like, look, it's a good deal in this bank building. It's an abandoned building. We got to do something about it.
Yeah.
It's only $330K. We'll probably put about $1 million into it to fix this thing up. And then next thing you know, they're like, well, we got asbestos removal. And then the question came back, did you guys know that there was asbestos in there? How did you not know when you bought a building? And they go, actually, we knew.
Right.
So
we did know. We just didn't tell you that we know.
So you bought this building and said that it's only going to cost us a little bit to fix it up, knowing that was a lie, that you had to spend all this extra money to do it. So that's the problem. I really want people to understand that is the problem. It's the lying that got us here that people have so much of an issue with.
Yep.
And then now, like you said.
Yeah. All right. So taxpayers have paid, I don't know, somewhere close to $4.5 $5 million.
Right.
And our answer back is no. I'm sorry, you can't actually use this building. But thank you. We're gonna do our own programming here. You can buy tickets if you'd like to come into the building that you paid for. So you can come to to see that. And they're going to claim that there's a full-time person that's going to be running the place that's a current existing employee. What current existing employee is going to take on a whole new role? Or are they going to just hire a new person to go do that? This is how we get to have a machine of people.
Curtis.
Oh, yeah, maybe he can be in charge of it. He'll be booking.
His seventh job. He's going to be over there taking tickets at the door. He's going to go in the back. If there's any food preparation, he'll do that for you too.
Yeah.
He's going to have 10 jobs by the time this is over. But what I'm thinking here is, I get it, right? I get this part where if you want to do something, if you want to, I don't know, if you have a band or something like that, you want to play and do something, maybe a fundraiser for something with a band, and you say, hey, I'd like to rent this out. I understand that they can't just give you the keys and say, go have at it. I understand that you would have to pay a rental fee to rent. That's fine. To pay for the person that is gonna help you out. But when you get into things like, well, we're up to figure out what the rental fee is if you need to use some chairs. No, I bought those chairs.
Right.
You bought those chairs. You bought those chairs.
Right. These are
I don't
our
want to pay
chairs.
for that. We'll pay for like
If you're from outside of town, you're coming in.
the electricity that's used during the whole thing, the staffing that's needed for your event, but like the rest of this stuff, don't make me pay for something that I already paid for that I didn't want to pay for to begin with.
Literally, like
So-
the lectern. It's ours. Bring it out.
Yeah.
You paid for that already.
That's where that really, man, and then I want that perception to know that like where everybody else is coming from, because I think some of the people that are criticizing are getting a bad name, but
Well,
yeah.
they like to do that. All right. Anyway, we moved on to the last thing here was some dialogue. It's kind of along the same lines.
Oh yeah, Dave. So I didn't clip Dave's part, but Dave was like, "Hey," because we've talked about this 100 times.
Yeah.
Dave is like, "There's still no back and forth." And then when there is, if I ask you a question, you give me an answer that I didn't ask for, and I try to like say, "Hey, that's not what I said. Actually, I meant," and they yell at you for talking when you're not asked for.
Yeah,
So
talking out of turn.
this is their response to Dave's question about that again.
You had a question, why can't the public engage in dialogue? We have rules of order, Mr. Leader, that are
But
located
we don't have to
on
follow,
the
you do.
bulletin board there, and we follow those rules of order. If anyone is shouting out from the audience, we're going to ask them to please do not shout out during the audience. Any comments and responses to any questions or concerns are done after the public portions, and they are addressed.
All right. So the way that this was presented was like, there's rules over there on that wall, and we just have to follow those rules.
No.
You created those rules in January. You're the one that created those rules. Don't point to the wall and say, we're just going by those rules. You created those rules.
Oh, and by the way,
That's the
they don't
thing.
have to follow them. That's the part where you said
No, they can do whatever they want.
He's saying you have to follow those rules that we created.
Let's be
We all
honest.
do whatever we want, and that's what Dave's question was.
Those rules were created because they couldn't keep Tom Cardis from yapping back at people that were questioning him too hard.
Yeah.
So-
Or Orlando, yeah. But anyway, so after all that was said and done, there was a proclamation for a drive sober and get pulled over Labor Day crackdown.
Yep.
So
If you're doing any
drive sober, get
barbecues
pulled over.
and having a couple drinks, get a driver, get somebody else take you home because they'll be out looking for you.
Yep.
And
Which that should be common sense on every day of the week, but just a reminder on a holiday here.
yeah, maybe I think when you're younger, I feel like you don't think about this stuff as much. But
yeah,
you're probably
I
also
guess.
not watching township. You're probably also not watching council meetings when you're younger too.
Yeah, right.
So
But yeah, and then on the way out, we had some words of wisdom from.
well, yeah,
Miss
a couple
Troxel.
things too. School's starting. School's coming. So there was a mention. I think the chief mentioned it. Like, hey, look, buses are going to be stopping.
Yep.
And please pay attention to the buses. Don't run any kids over. And then Troxel, she has her little thing that she her words of wisdom that she gives to everybody when they go somewhere, and it is
Drive to arrive. That's what she tells everyone that leaves her house. She said, "Drive
Yeah.
to arrive."
I was
And
wondering.
I actually heard her say this outside of this council meeting a few days later. I saw her somewhere, and someone was leaving, and she said, "Drive to arrive." So that's like her thing, I guess. Like,
Does that count?
spade and neuter your pets.
Oh,
says,
that's her thing.
Drive to arrive. That's her thing.
Oh man, she's got a thing now.
Yeah, like Seacrest out.
Yeah,
She
well,
came
they
up with
all
Drive to
have
Arrive.
they all have their thing. That's her thing. I didn't realize that just came up. That
Yeah.
was her thing. Mine was going to be the spay and neuter your pets. I was going to take that on now that he's passed on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one. I wonder, does that count too? Like, I mean, I always plan to arrive when I drive, but sometimes I look at Google Maps and it's like you'll arrive in 32 minutes, and I was like, damn, I gotta get there in 20. I mean, my plan is I'm gonna arrive.
Yeah.
But no, I always pay attention to all traffic laws.
Yeah. All right.
And then
I think that was pretty much
thing that
it.
was happened that was mentioned in there, it actually happened last night, was the mural ceremony
Oh yeah, that
down
happened.
at I believe it's on the side of the building at Mystic Ginger.
Yeah,
wasn't it, correct?
Mystic Ginger, right next to the bunker. What's it called? The bunker.
Oh, the gym, yeah, between. So the Mystic Ginger
I can't
backs
think of
up
the full
next
name of
is next to the park, right?
Correct. Yeah, Harwin
And then
Park
there's
is right
the-
there.
the Bunker Fitness, something.
Bunker Fitness.
The old Rite Aid.
Yeah.
It's a gym. That actually took place last night. It was mentioned at the council meeting that it was going to happen, but
yeah, it's a really nice mural down there. It goes very well with the building and the aesthetics of everything out there, and really nice ceremony that they held. Orlando, I think he ran there. He was running or something, and got there, and there was a couple other council members there. The mayor was there, and his photographer. They did a ribbon cutting ceremony. The artist was there to speak about it, and gave a good speech. Saying like this has a lot of her in it and a lot of other people, and the mural it took a while. It was really nice. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but
I saw the pictures. I didn't.
Okay.
I wasn't able to make it. I know you were able to make it.
Yeah, myself. I know
And,
Jen O'Donnell was there. Nick was there with us. So a couple of our team were out, and it was a good ceremony. I like to see the progress that is being made downtown Blackwood and support it. I support it fully, But anyway, that was pretty much it for the ceremony and everything else that was going on this week.
Yeah, I think so. One more time, if you haven't already,
Oh.
how have you not subscribed already? If you're watching this,
Right.
Unless you're opposition research for the mayor and you're just watching what Keith says right now, you probably haven't subscribed yet. But
No, you probably did. Turn your notifications on if you did. Just make sure.
They got their notifications
Hit the
on.
little bell
They got
right there.
they got their pens and pads and they're ready to go.
Oh yeah.
So if you haven't done it already, and do me a favor, just share it out.
Share it out.
Share it out and
Comment down below. Tell us how much you hate us or love us. Whatever.
yeah, do that too. Share it. Share it. Comment. Throw it on some other websites like Nextdoor. I got tired of throwing it on Nextdoor too, so throw it on
It's a lot of work doing
Nextdoor.com.
this.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people learn some stuff when they watch the podcast.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just learn that they hate us. But either way,
At least they learn.
we'll see you guys. Soon. Very soon.
Take care.
See you.